The following program is an original production of WICC PBS Chicago.
Mayor Emanuel says he'll move heaven and earth to make it happen. What are the odds Chicago will land the Obama Presidential Library?
Plus, fine-tuning. How one Chicago couple turned sour notes into sweet melodies for city kids in need.
And a high-level endorsement. Mayor Emanuel's former boss throws his support behind Rahm's re-election campaign. These stories and much more tonight on In the Loop.
Good evening. I'm Chris Bury.
And I'm Barbara Pinto. The deadline is looming, but plans to bring the Obama Presidential Library to Chicago remain mired in controversy.
The competition is stiff. The University of Chicago and the University of Illinois are offering sites on the south and west sides, but they are facing off against proposals from universities in Hawaii and New York City.
Now critics say there's a land grab underway, triggering heated debate over the price Chicago should pay for this presidential opportunity. Reverend Leon Finney has his hopes set on Chicago's South Side as the place President Obama will site his library. He's lived here for more than 6 decades, and in that time, the pastor of the Metropolitan Apostolic Church has seen his Woodlawn neighborhood thrive and then wither.
This is a powerful moment for us, and one that an opportunity we don't want to blow. This is a time for us to seize this opportunity.
Mayor Rahm Emanuel, the president's former chief of staff, feels the same way, vowing to battle out-of-state bids from Hawaii and New York.
And I will do what is necessary through my office and the office of the mayor, and move heaven and earth to make this happen.
That has not been the case. Somehow word leaked that the Obama Presidential Foundation was disappointed in Chicago's bids, especially the University of Chicago's plan to build a library on Park District land the city doesn't own. Now Mayor Emanuel wants to pass an ordinance allowing the city to pay $1 for the transfer of 21 acres in Washington Park or 20 acres in Jackson Park to city control if the president cites his library here.
I don't want to look back after the decision and say, well, we should have done something when it's all within our power to actually make it easy.
With wide aldermanic support, the measure is expected to pass. The Chicago Park District has final say February 11th. But the move is seen by some as a land grab in struggling communities, a move that leaves Chicago's poorest neighborhoods with even less.
We are very concerned because just like with Olympic efforts in the past, we know that when major initiatives like this happen, the needs of working and low-income families always last on the list.
There is no need for using the parkland. There's enough land there without using the parkland.
Passions flared among hundreds of residents who attended 2 public meetings organized by the Chicago Park District. Many here, including Reverend Finney and local aldermen, welcomed the idea.
We came to get this library for the city of Chicago, for the south side of the city of Chicago.
What the Obama Presidential Library has the potential to create: hundreds of millions of dollars in economic activity, hundreds of jobs, a symbol of what our community can do when we work together.
I encourage us all to keep our eyes on the prize.
Susan Schur, senior advisor to the president of the University of Chicago, says the project would generate more than 3,000 local jobs and pump more than $200 million into the local economy.
The south side of Chicago is an area that's very rich in tradition, in an engaged community, but it also has areas where investment would be fantastic.
Some critics compare this to building a library in the middle of New York's Central Park. Lauren Maltz, who heads the preservation group Friends of the Park, is baffled at the city's plan. Both Washington and Jackson Parks are on the National Historic Register, designed by famed landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted in the 1800s. Maltz is concerned the historic value of the parks will be compromised and suggests other options.
We are challenging everybody to look at the vacant land here. There's a lot of vacant land. And if you find vacant land and you build on it, without encroaching on these historic parks, you can accomplish the same goals.
The mayor and the University of Chicago are facing opposition on another front. At one community meeting, protesters staged a die-in, saying their South Side community, plagued by gangs and gunfire, needs a trauma center for adults more than it needs a library.
Why would you want to give the first black presidential library to an institution that has not at all shown any concern, care, or a priority for your life?
Despite the controversy, University of Chicago is considered a front-runner. The Obamas have deep roots in Chicago's South Side. Michelle Obama grew up nearby. President Obama taught at the university. The First Lady worked there. On the west side, the University of Illinois at Chicago is still a viable contender. Mary Case, head of UIC's proposal committee, says they've reached out to the Obama Presidential Foundation to reiterate their commitment to their plan.
We have submitted a proposal to the Obama Foundation that includes 2 potential sites, one here at UIC on the corner of Halsted and Harrison. It's about a 6.5-acre site. And the second site with our community partner of North Lawndale, that is a 23-acre site on Roosevelt and Costner area. And that's a site that's vacant at the moment, and the land is currently owned by the city.
UIC estimates its proposal will generate $65 billion over 30 years.
We have tried to put our best arguments forward, and we think we have great locations that are easily accessible, that will drive tourists and visitors.
The President and the First Lady are expected to announce a decision by the end of March. Many residents, including Reverend Finney, hope the controversy doesn't lessen Chicago's chances of becoming home to a point of pride, the library of America's first African-American president.
This is a time for us to make this work. Bring it home. Bring Obama home.
Now, the bid from Columbia University in New York is also considered a close contender. The school proposed a site in West Harlem that officials believe will help bridge the gap between the area's low-income neighborhoods and the university. Now, here's a look at more stories trending this week.